The time is 8 p.m. Central. All regular amateur traffic, please stand by, because you're now listening to the Oak Hill Thursday Night Net. Heard Thursday nights here on the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater. Frequency 147.320. Tone 114.8. Transmitting tonight from East Austin using the 147.320 repeater, covering the greater Texas area and beyond. You can also reach us on Echolink N5OAK-R and the AllStar using node 51444. My name is Maria, not Sammy. Glad to cover for him tonight, though. My call sign is KI5SYX, and I'll be your net control this evening. This is the control net, meaning stations should refrain from transmitting until designated check-in or comment time. Before we begin, is there emergency or priority traffic? If so, please call now. Okay, seems like everything is fine. Let's continue. The Thursday Night Net is a social net with the purpose of getting local radio operators together to share knowledge, ask questions, and keep in touch. Here's what to expect. I'll ask check-ins to take down a list of stations who wish to check in. Once we've got a few stations checked in, I'll go down the list and give each of you the floor. You'll have the opportunity to ask a question, tell us about what you've been working on, or just say hi. If you missed the first check-ins, no problem. We'll ask for check-ins again after we've gone down the first list. We usually have a few rounds during the evening. And that's it. When it's your turn, check in with your contribution. We'll hear your comments and then move down. Before we start, let's go down with some rules. We ask that you avoid topics of politics, religion, or anything else potentially inflammatory. We also ask you keep things clean and appropriate in case there are younger listeners. Moving forward, it's time for a station ID. This is the Oak Hill Thursday Night Net, hosted by the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, Thursday nights, 8 p.m., here on the N5OAK repeater. If you're joining us, be sure your tone is set to 114.8 if you wish to participate. My name is Maria, call sign KI5SYX, your hostess for tonight. So, why don't we get started right now? Time for our opening act, short time check-ins. Short time means stations that do not have a lot of time with us, so no general comments, please, for the short timers per their request. Short time check-ins come in with your call sign twice and slow.
This is K5BZI, Ray in South Austin. This is
Michael Victor, November 3, November, Michael Victor.
This is Kilo India 5, Mike Victor Frank, Jeffrey, downtown.
This is Kilo 5, Tango, Mike, Tango, mobile, no traffic.
This is November 5, Sierra, Mike Oscar, no traffic. This is
KB5MPJ, Kilo Bravo 5, Mike Papa Juliet, Jason and Buda, no traffic.
This is.
Kilo Golf 5, Uniform November, Kilo, KG5, UNK, Doug, North Austin, no traffic.
This is KI6HQT, Kilo India 6, Hotel Quebec Tango, Cannon, South Austin, no traffic.
This is Alpha Charlie 5 Golf, Philip, East Austin, no traffic.
This is Kilo Golf 5, Kilo Victor Juliet, Garrett and Buda.
This is KI5HHK, Kilo India 5, Hotel Kilo, lands in East Austin, no traffic.
All right, what a great first list. We've got a lot of people on our short-term check-ins tonight. We've got K5BZI, Ray. So, I hear you have a little bit of traffic. What's going on tonight?
Oh, hey, Maria. Yeah, thanks for hosting tonight. I have been a little under the weather as of late, so I wanted to keep it short tonight. I do have some news queued up for you. Other than that, nothing else to say. Just wanted to keep it short tonight. So, thanks for hosting again and 73 all listening. K5BZI, back to that.
Roger that. Thank you for checking in for just a little while. I do hear that you are a little bit stuffy. It seems to be that everyone's sick nowadays. No masking means we've got our regular old germs are flying around in the air now. So thank you for doing a little bit tonight. We appreciate that, and we look forward to the news later on. Thanks for checking in. Next, we've got N3NMB, Victor, and I also heard some traffic. Is that correct? Okay, maybe I just got that number wrong. N3NMB, maybe not named Victor, but the last letter is Victor. I didn't hear him. Let's give him one more chance. Okay, N3NMB, maybe we can try you again later on. Please try again. Hopefully you got a little bit of traffic for us. Next on the list, we've got Jeffrey, KI5MVS. What's going on, Jeffrey?
KI5MVS. Thanks for hosting tonight, Maria. I'm stuck at work currently waiting on somebody. And so I'll keep it short as I'm hoping to check in regular check-ins later on, depending on how long this runs. And of course, I'll be doing some radio direction finding news soon.
But otherwise, just get my name on the list in case I can't make it later.
Roger that, Jeffrey. And yes, I do have you on the agenda. Thanks for participating tonight. And it is a little hard waiting when things are a little uncertain. So thank you for even trying to be participating tonight with us. So good to hear your voice, and looking forward to hearing you later on. All right. Next on the list, we've got K5TMT with no traffic. The next few of the call signs are also no traffic, so I'm going to read through them and get them on our list tonight. N5 SMO, no traffic. Next on the list, KB5 MPJ. We've got Jason. Thanks for checking in tonight, Jason. No traffic. Have a great night. We also have Doug. KG5UNK. Thanks for your continued support to the club, and have a great night. We've got KI6HQT. And so sorry, I heard either Ken or Cannon tonight. No traffic, and so sorry if I did not get your name correctly. Maybe you can correct me later on. How about a regular check-in? Wink, wink. We've got AC5G Philip, also no traffic. Our friend Garrett, KG5K, no traffic. Finally, Lance, KI5HHK, no traffic tonight as well. Thank you guys for checking in. Short term, getting on our list tonight. Great start. Are there any more short term check-ins?
This is Kilo India 5 Romeo X-Ray Tango Sally in Oak Hill. Short time, no traffic. Just wanted to say hey, Maria, and hello to everybody. And I'll be monitoring off and on for the next little while.
This is KI5QFR, George, in Blanco County. No traffic.
Okay, did we have a double on that last short-term check-in?
Yes, you did.
Come on in.
This is Kilo 5 Juliet Mike, K5JM, Sam. Short time, no traffic. This is KI5QFR. Short term, no traffic.
Okay, let's read our final short-term check-ins for tonight. First up, we've got Sally, KI5RXT. Thanks, Sally, for checking in short time and for listening to our net tonight. Always great. I know I said this last time, but I love hearing the ladies on the net. It makes me feel welcome, and I think we need more of us on there. Thanks, Sally. Have a great night. Maybe you can have some comments later on again. So hopefully we'll hear from you again soon. Next on the list, we've got George, KI5USR, also with no traffic. Thanks for checking in, George. Have a great night. And final short-term check-in for tonight. Sam, nice to hear from you. K5JM. I actually have a comment for Sam, since I am net controlling tonight and I have permission to do so. Sam is one of the participants on the Saturday night Chicago 220 net that we are plugging into thanks to the 220 UT connector that everyone participated in, or some of our members participated in. And it's great fun. I actually recommend everyone to check in on that Saturday night Conservation Net 220 at 8 o'clock. Sam's participating, and a few of other Oak Hill members also participate, and it's great fun. Steve is the moderator, and he is a hoot. So thanks for checking in, Sam, and reminding me that we've got to connect everyone in this ham amateur service and hobby. Have a great night, Sam.
Well, thank you for the kind words there, and love 220, and I've been connecting to the net up there, via my own All-Star node and then Echo Link for a number of years. So really excited to see a dedicated 220 machine and be a part of that project here in Austin, and we hope to spur some more activity with some 220-related nets and other things, and hope to grow from there. Back to you, to Net Control from K5JM.
Excelente. Thank you, Sam, for your contribution tonight. Okay, sounds like we have wrapped up on our short time check-ins tonight. Next on the agenda, let's get our brain off standby and review questions from the FCC current general exam. Technicians and generals alike, we've got to review. And we've got a special treat tonight. Someone very special is reading our questions tonight. Let's pass it on to our club president, WZ5BBS, Rusty. What questions have you selected tonight?
So tonight it's about Q's, what do Q codes mean, and seeing if you all know the difference. It took me forever. I still am horrible with them. So we'll see how everybody does on this one. Here's our first question. What should you do if a CW station sends QRS, Quebec Romeo Sierra? So here are the answer choices. Alpha is send slower. Bravo is change frequency. Charlie is increase your power. And Delta is repeat everything twice. So there you have it. What happens? What do you do if a CW station sends QRS? So we're going to go out to our technician now. If you are a technician and you have a choice, come with your call sign and your answer choice now.
This is Kilo Golf 5, Kilo Victor Juliet. I'm going to go with whatever it is to change frequency.
All right, we got Garrett down for change frequency, and that is Bravo. So we got Garrett down for Bravo. Any other technicians want to give it a try?
KG5 UNK.
Go ahead, sir.
I missed which letter, but slower. Send slower.
All right, so Doug went for send slower, and that is Alpha. Alpha. All right, any other technicians want to give it a shot?
MVS, do you mind reading the answers one more time?
Not at all, man. So we'll do the whole thing. What should you do if a CW station sends QRS? Here are the answers. Alpha is send slower. Bravo is change frequency. Charlie, increase your power. Or Delta, repeat everything twice. MVF, what is your choice?
KI5MVF, I'm going with Delta.
All right, so far we have a Bravo, an Alpha, and a Delta, so this is fantastic. We got any more technicians? All we're missing is Charlie. Anybody want to guess Charlie? All right, well, let's move it on to general and extra class. If you have a amateur radio license and you want to guess, come with your call sign and your choice.
This is Whiskey 5 Sugar Mike Sugar. Put me down for A and throw me on the short time no traffic list if you can. Just was out and about. Thank you. W5SMS.
Right on, Sean. We will get you on the logbook. W5SMS. We got you down for Alpha. Send slowly. Good to hear you, man. All right. Anybody else out there have a choice?
Whiskey 5, Whiskey Tango Hotel.
Yes, sir, Pat.
Yeah, so it's a pretty one. I use it a lot, and it did fit to me a lot. I'm going to say send slower. You should never be embarrassed by sending that either. So my guess is send slower.
All right, we got Pat down for Alpha, which is send slower, and he's in charge of the CW net right before this. So for those of you who are learning CW and want to go and see what it's all about, we have a CW net, and all the details are on our website as well. So, all right, anybody else got a choice? All right, got a guess? Come with your call sign and choice now. All right, well, we're going to wrap this one up. So the correct answer is A. What should you do if a CW station sends QRS? It means to send it slower. So congratulations to KG5UNK, W5SMS, and Pat, W5WTH. All right, so here we're going to go. We're going to do another one and see how y'all do on question number 2. What does the Q signal QRL mean? Quebec Romeo Lima. What does the Q signal QRL mean? Here's your choices. Alpha, will you keep the frequency clear? Bravo, are you operating full break-in, or can you operate full break-in? Charlie, are you listening only for a specific station? Or Delta, are you busy, or is this frequency in use? All right, let's go back out to the technicians. If you have a guess, show up with your call sign and your answer.
This is Kilo Golf 5, Kilo Victor Juliet, KG5 KVJ. I'm going to go with Delta.
All right, we got KVJ down for Delta. Anybody else?
KI5MVF, Delta.
We got Jeffrey down for Delta. Anybody else in the technician spectrum?
I'll go with Delta as well, KG5UNK.
All right, well, we got 3 Deltas. Let's open it up to anybody, see if anybody else has a guess. All right, everybody knows this one apparently. So what does the Q signal QRL mean? It is Delta. Are you busy, or is this frequency in use? So there you have it. That's going to wrap up our general trivia questions for the net, and we'll send it back over to Maria. KI5SYX, WZ5BBS, back to net control.
Wonderful. Thank you, Rusty, for helping us with tonight's questions. Always great to practice. And let's give a big shout out to people that are thinking about upgrading. Let's go generals and extras. I'm a technician. One day I'll become a general, but I cheer you guys on too. And I actually knew one of the ones that you were talking about. I didn't log in the actual number or the letter, but I knew it was busy. So I didn't check in, but I knew that answer. Maybe I should be next on the list to take my test. All right, time for a break and our station ID. In case you just joined us, this is the Oak Hill Thursday Night Net, hosted by the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday nights at 8 p.m. here on the N5OAK repeater. Be sure your tone is set to 114.8. Again, I am not Sammy, but we are wishing him well tonight. My name is Maria, call sign KI5SYX, your hostess for tonight. Time to get caught up on what's happening in ham radio news. Joining us tonight is Ray, KI5EZI. Take it away, Ray.
All right, thank you, Maria. This is K5BZI Ray from South Austin with tonight's news, thanks to ARRL News. And the first one, if you know or are someone who is a recent graduate, the FCC is hiring in their electronics engineering department. The Federal Communications Commission has started accepting applications for electronics engineers for recent graduate positions in the Pathways program, which is located in the Office of Engineering and Technology in Washington, D.C. Candidates should be recent graduates for this one-year developmental program, which may lead to a term or permanent appointment. Training will cover the agency's policy and rulemaking processes, technical training for a wide variety of telecommunications services and technologies, and training on engineering and policy principles relevant to the fast-paced telecommunications industry. Additional duties and related training may also include performing propagation analysis of terrestrial, satellite, and/or airborne systems, or evaluating the emission characteristics of various transmitters to validate the coexistence with neighboring systems. Visit USA Jobs for the complete position summary and to apply. News from the ARISS, the amateur radio on the International Space Station. Astronaut Kayla Barron, amateur radio call sign Kilo India 5 Lima Alpha Lima, completed a successful scheduled ham radio contact on April 21st, 2022, with students from Bellefontaine High School in Bellefontaine, Ohio, via amateur radio on the International Space Station. The radio contact was streamed on YouTube. The students were supported by members of the Champaign-Logan Amateur Radio Club Incorporated, W8FTV, an ARRL-affiliated radio club. The school's STEM, which stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math curriculum, supports the newly formed Bellefontaine High School Amateur Radio Club, W8BCS. Barron is currently serving as mission specialist of the NASA SpaceX Crew 3 mission to the ISS, which launched on November 10th, 2021. In the U.S., ARISS is supported by ARRL, the National Association for Amateur Radio, AMSAT, the ISS National Lab Space Station Explorers, Amateur Radio Digital Communications, otherwise known as ARDC, and NASA Space Communications and Navigation Program. ARRL has information for schools and student groups interested in hosting a future amateur radio contact with a crew member on board the ISS. So if you know of any schools or student groups interested in hosting a future amateur radio contact with the space station, go to the ARRL website. There's a link to that direct request form within this news report. So to find that, just go to arrl.org/news and look for the recent news report titled Ham Radio Contacts Bellefontaine, Ohio Students. And finally, an update on the FCC not processing new license applications. On Wednesday, April 27, in a notice to all VECs, the FCC again asked them to refrain from submitting any amateur radio exam session or license application files with the Commission while the Commission works to resolve an issue with the Universal Licensing System application filing system. The ULS application filing system was not functioning properly last week, and then the FCC indicated the problem was resolved, as previously reported by the ARRL. However, this was not the case, as no new amateur radio call signs and licenses have been issued since Monday, April 18th of this year. Tuesday, April 19th, is the day the FCC application fees became effective for amateur radio. ARRL VEC Manager Maria Soma, Alpha Bravo 1 Fox Mike, reports that new call signs are not being assigned by the FCC even if the applicant has paid the FCC application fee. The FCC was processing upgrade applications through the system without an issue because there are no fees required for those applications. In addition to new call signs not being issued even if the applicant has paid the fee, some applicants are also having issues paying and logging into the system. Other types of license application transactions may also be experiencing problems. Applications should expect delays with license, call sign, and application processing associated with individuals and amateur radio clubs. Amateur radio license filings are currently on hold until further notice, and FCC did not estimate how long the system would be down. Updates will become public as soon as the FCC information becomes available. So sorry for those guys that have just applied for an upgrade or a vanity call or just passed the exam. The licenses are on delay, and there you have it. So add a fee to the system and everything goes bonkers. Anyway, that's all I've got for tonight's news. Thank you for sticking around with me, and I'll pass it back over to Maria and the net. This is Ray, call sign K5BZI, and I will be clear back to net control.
Thanks, Ray, K5BZI, for doing tonight's news. Are there any comments for the news tonight? All right, no comments heard. I actually have comments on two of the news. All of that technology issues going on with paying and registering and all that, I'm glad that I did it old school. Went up to, where was it that I got it? Temple, Texas. Paid in person, in cash, really old school, and took my test. Sad to hear that it's getting difficult for us to get these new hams online, so hopefully they get that under control right away. Second comment, I really love it when I hear news about young people getting involved in this radio amateur hobby or service, as many people like to refer to it. And I actually am related to a STEM school. It's a very early age STEM school. These kiddos are very, very young, five and less. But we do some activities that have to do with electricity, some activities that have to do with static. And so I don't think we can start early enough in the STEM areas, and I'm super psyched at hearing that some high schoolers in STEM schools are connecting with astronauts in space. That's how we're going to go into the universe, in my opinion, and I think Elon Musk might have my same opinion, too. So, moving on. All right. Next on the news segment, let's hear from Jeffrey, KI5MBF, with Fox News.
Good evening once again, everybody. KI5MVS here. Fox News, we've got some good updates. I hosted a Fox this previous weekend. It was the device loaned to me by Ernesto, KI5PZN, very graciously, as usual. I hit it downtown, and it was just off of 6th Street where it meets Shoal Creek, and the Fox kind of overlooked Shoal Creek. I'd like to say a special congratulations to Sky in 5LX, Ernesto, KI5PZN, Rusty, WZ5BBS, Ashley, George, K5TR, Sarah, W5DMB, and Philip, AC5G. They all successfully found that Fox, even though it was downtown. And then this weekend, we've got a doubleheader. Starting us off, I gave Ernesto his Fox back, so we'll have a KI5PZN Fox hunt. He has it listed as starting at 5 p.m. tomorrow. He has not given us a map or a general location, but I imagine he'll share one with us as soon as it's live. If not, I assume it's somewhere within Austin city limits or Travis County and 146.565. And then at 6 o'clock, Sky and 5LX has his advertised as starting at 6 o'clock. He has shared a map, will be down in southwest Austin. This is his first time hosting, and so I think it's going to be a great time. It's always fun on the first one. I remember Ernesto's first one. I think we all do. It was a lot of fun, and I remember my first one, and Rusty's as well. Like I said, usually the first time somebody hides, it's a good one. It's special. And so I'm looking forward to both of these. Again, both of those will be on 146.565. Ernesto has his set to end. I can't see that information currently. I think he said around 7 or 8 p.m. on Sunday, and then Sky's is set to end around the same time or whenever the battery dies. As this is his first time hosting with this device, battery life is untested. So, some good hunt opportunity. If you have any questions or any interest in fox hunting, I highly recommend joining our Discord. You can join the Discord by going to our website at n5oak.org, and you can find the Discord button down at the bottom. I'm part of the welcome team, so I would happily welcome you into the club. But we've got others standing by, ready to add people. And then I'll open the floor now. If you've got some easy to answer over the radio questions about fox hunting, please give me a name and call sign, and I'll be happy to answer them. All right, nothing heard. Well, I hope to maybe see some people out driving around. If you've got APRS, I highly recommend turning it on while you're out fox hunting. Most of us play by the rules and don't cheat by looking at the APRS, but it's a great way to go back and review where all you drove around. I love going back and seeing all the big giant circles I did driving around town until I heard a signal. It's good fun. So, for now, I'm going to give it back to Maria, SYX. Thank you, Maria.
Oh, those silly foxes all over town, waiting to be found. 2 foxes this weekend. Man, sounds like a really exciting hunt. And, I heard about this weekend's hunt. Some people looked for it, and some people found it. Others people did not. I know downtown could probably be pretty complicated. There's a lot of glass and concrete and barriers and buildings and everything downtown. That's the most congested place that you could ever place Fox at. So congrats to those who found it. Good job. And this weekend sounds exciting too. South Austin Fox, waiting to be found, and yet to be determined Fox location for KI5PZN. So I say that we look forward to next week's Thursday's Fox News to see how everyone did. It's going to be hopefully a good news outcome to see how everyone came out. And let me tell you, APRS is fun. It is so fun to see what people are doing and the circles they're doing and how close they get to these foxes and then how far they get. But yeah, it'll be an honor system process. Please don't look at APRS before you go out fox hunting. And look at it afterwards and make fun of your peers when you see them going way off course. I've done it and it's super fun. Totally like a game. So yeah, APRS, a lot of fun. Totally recommend it. Okay, to wrap up the news for tonight, let's hear from Rusty again. KZ5BBS Club President. Oh, sorry. It's a W, not a K. WZ5BBS Club President with announcements and trivia updates. Take it away, Rusty.
All right, Maria, you officially timed out the repeater, so you now get your badge of honor. So congratulations. And you just call me Hey You. I will answer to anything. For those of you who are new or don't know, the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club has a trivia net right here every Friday at 9 p.m. We had 17 players last week. Last week's winner was Kent, KI5RBT. Leonard, KI5NLC, came in second, and Scott, KI5OBD, coming in third place. The elimination round, Dave, KI5STT, made it all the way to round number 4. Everybody else got kicked out pretty early. And as far as the player rankings as a whole, Kent, KI5RBT, is the one to beat. He's in the number 1 spot. Adam, N5YHF, is still at number 2, and David, N6DBX, is hanging out at number 3. Y'all don't forget, next week is North versus South. The first Friday of the month is it. Actually, it's coming up. So we got not next week. It's tomorrow. Tomorrow is North versus South. The North and the South are tied 5-5. So I've got a map up on the website, and I will throw one in Discord as well. Anybody can play. All you need is a smartphone, a tablet, or a computer. We got the bingo. It starts at 8:30, so you got something to do while you're hanging out for the net to begin. Like I said, I will put all the details and the map and all that kinds of fun stuff into the Thursday Night Net Discord channel. The water's the boundary, so if you're south of the river, you're from the south. If you're north of the river, so we'll see who makes it out of tomorrow night. So make sure you, if you don't play or you haven't played in a while, it's definitely the time to go. To check out player rankings, stats, net logs, anything you want to know, head over to n5oak.org and click on the Trivia Net tab. It will take you there. We also have a little bit of official club business. We're still hanging tight at 423 members. We don't have anybody new as of yet. If you would like to officially join the club, joining Discord is joining Discord, but to be an official member of the club, you have to go over to the website and click on the Join tab. So n5oak.org, click on Join. It doesn't cost you anything. All we need is your call sign and your name. But go join the club, and we'll say hi to you next week when we convene again. Jeffrey went over the fox hunts. Thanks to KI5PZN and N5LX for making that happen this weekend. We appreciate you guys for doing that for us. And then Sunday, we got a new thing going on. We got breakfast at Rudy's at 9 a.m. Adam put this together, N5YHF. It's the one over on 183 in Duval, so it's up here in the Jollyville area. And if you are needing something to do on Sunday for breakfast, 9 a.m., join us for Rudy's. Breakfast tacos and just good old nerdy, ham conversation. So it'd be a good time. And then as soon as we get internet back to the DMR machine, the DMR sound check will come blazing through Travis County. If you have any kind of digital modes, any kind of hotspots, you can totally make this happen. AllStar, EchoLink, Ham Shack Hotline, DMR, D-Star, NXDN, P25, WiresX, System Fusion, you name it. You can totally get in here and play on the Soundcheck net, and it's a lot of fun. All of this is on our calendar, and I can't say anymore. Go subscribe to the official calendar, and we will keep you up to date with all the nets and all the goings-on around here. So that's all I have for my trivia update and club news. Thank you, Maria, for running the net. KI5SYX WZ5BBS, back to net control.
Thanks, Rusty, for wrapping up our news for tonight. And thank you for reminding me about timing out that repeater. So sorry. Hope everyone heard what we had to say. And thanks for your patience. I'm still learning how to use these darn machines. So let's get ready for another ID. This is the Oak Hill Thursday Night Net, hosted by the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, Thursday night at 8 p.m. here on the N5 OAK repeater. Be sure your tone is set at 114.8. My name is Maria, call sign KI5SYX. Oh, by the way, I didn't ask for comments about Rusty's news. I was just so caught up about being naughty on the radio. So are there any comments for our news tonight? Especially about that breakfast on Sunday. That sounds really interesting.
N5TXR.
Come on in, Sammy. Glad to hear your voice.
Thank you, Maria, and thank you for filling in so admirably. I just had another piece of little bit of news, and thank Ernesto and Ray as well. One of our older club members, Clint, I think he changed his call to N5CMD. I have to double check that. He has a Drake radio that he wants to put up for auction, and the proceeds go into the club. So when I have the rest of the pictures and all the other stuff that I need to know, I'll open up a new channel for radio auction, leave it open for a couple of weeks, and see if we could auction off his Brian Drake radio, all proceeds going to the club. Just watch your Discord for further developments. And once again, thank you, Maria. I just walked back in. I've got to go back in the house, so thank you so much. N5TXR.
Roger that, Sammy. Great to hear from you. Hopefully you get some rest tonight, and we hear your voice very, very soon on our radios. And so everyone heard it, loud and clear. Let's get on the Discord and see about that auction. Let's get those coffers filled with some funds for our club. All right, you know what time it is. It's time for the main event. Regular check-ins. Any and all licensed club members and non-members are invited. so come on in. Comments, projects, topics, and anything really welcome on tonight's net. Now, if you need a little bit of help, you know me, I'm always ready to help you with my random bag of questions. Hey, that was a very quick grab there. Ernest was my assistant. He took my bag away from me very quickly, but I got a question. Don't worry. Here's the question for tonight. What was the very first job you ever had? That's tonight's question. So you can answer it. I dare you to. Or not. We just want to hear from you. Come on in. We've got regular check-ins. We want your call sign twice and slow. Come on in, regular check-in.
This is November Echo 5 Papa, Mark, Dripping Springs. Thanks, Maria, for hosting the net. My first job was washing crop duster.
K5 Tango, Radio, George.
WZ5 BBS.
This is Kilo Golf 5, Kilo Victor Juliet, KG5KVJ, Garrett and Buda.
This is W5NDS, Rod in North Central Austin.
This is Kilowatt 5 Bravo Zulu India with the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club Thursday Night Net. Maria, are you still with us?
Yes, Ray, I'm still here. I was taking a little bit of time. It sounded like someone was trying to key in. I was giving them a little bit of space, but I'm ready to read our first batch of regular check-ins. All right. Who's the first one? Mark, NE5P. He was brave enough to take on our challenge of our mystery question. He says that his very first job was washing crop dusters. That sounds like a very challenging and a little bit of a dirty job. Maybe featured on that show, Dirty Jobs. But it sounds like a very necessary one. Mark, thanks for checking in. Come on in.
Whiskey 5, Delta Golf Victor.
So sorry, I called out for Mark, NE5P. Are you still with us? And whoever just checked in, Please have a little patience. I will be right with you.
Maria, this is Mark. Yes, NE5P. Sorry, stepped away for a moment. Please repeat.
Just commenting on your response to our question of the night. What was your first job? Washing crop dusters. That seems like a pretty dirty job. Tell us about it.
Yeah, Roger. Sorry for breaking protocol on the check-ins. I guess I did a little ad-lib there. I think I was about 14 years old, growing up in a small town in northwestern Ohio, and I was fascinated with airplanes, and somehow I, through a friend, got connected to a company that did crop dusting, and I would say the job lasted for probably about 2 to 3 weeks. Fortunate that I didn't get any kind of pesticide poisoning, but very interesting first job for sure. Back to net.
Agree. Glad that you were not affected negatively by the pesticides that were surely being sprayed on the food that we're eating, or that we were eating. But 14-year-olds near airplanes and exciting jobs like that totally makes sense, especially in small town Ohio. Any small town will have interesting finds for kids trying to find something cool to do. Any comments for our friend Mark, KE5P? Thank you, Mark, for checking in tonight. NE5P, you're on our records. Okay, the next on our list for regular check-ins, we've got George, N5TR. George, come on in.
It's Kilo 5 Tango Radio. Good evening to everybody in the net. Let's see. You're asking about jobs. I think it was either paper route or briefly worked in a boat yard cleaning boats, boat shop. I don't know which of those came first. Anyway, ham radio wise, been getting on the radio a little bit. There's a guy operating from the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, which are in the Bay of Bengal. They're part of India, but they're very close. They're much closer to Thailand and Myanmar. So out in the Bay of Bengal and the Andaman Sea, some little islands out there. So that was kind of an interesting contact on 15 meter CW this afternoon. And it's somewhat of a rare country. And the other thing I did this week, I run a CW skimmer server, and what it does is it listens to the HF bands, well, that are calling CQ, and it posts their frequencies to the internet, to the packet cluster system, to the DX spotting system. And anyway, so I added whisper decoding to I use a software-defined radio that listens to 6 bands at one time, and so I added whisper to the decoding for some of the bands. So now I'm also reporting whisper transmissions into the whisper network. So it was something I'd wanted to do, and I found a way to do it really easy. Those are my ham radio things for the week. Back to you. This is K5TR.
K5TR. Oh man, So you go from super basic, paper route. You can't get more basic than that. Kid on a bicycle. Oh, yeah. And cleaning boats on a boatyard. To skimming CW and using computers for fancy frequencies. Man, what does a lifetime do? So let's see. Do we have any comments for George tonight?
Your 5 NDS.
DGB.
I heard a double. Come on in.
Whiskey 5, November Delta Sierra.
Come on in, Rod. Thanks for your comment tonight.
George, very interesting that you worked the Andaman Islands. I was in India in 1988, and I was listening on my shortwave receiver, and I heard a de-expedition in the Andaman Islands, and I had a little time, so I said, I'm going over there and visit those folks. It was a group of Indians. They had a VU7 call sign. So I got on, went to Madras, got on an airplane, and when I got off, a fellow asked me if I needed a taxi or a hotel, and I said, well, I want to visit the ham radio de-expedition. He said, well, they're in my hotel. Come on with me. So I spent several days with Bharati, who is a famous operator in there in well, she's stationed, well, she's sometimes in Hyderabad and sometimes in New Delhi. Last time I saw her was in New Delhi. Anyway, I had to share that memory with you. Go ahead.
Oh, very good. That's cool. I was thinking that VU7, so the VU7 prefix is this island I can't pronounce, LAKSHADWEEP Islands. It's also somewhat rare. I've actually looks like I've only, looking at my log here, I've only worked one of those ever. So I probably need to work that. I don't have a card. I don't think I have a card for that island. But anyway, the VU4 stuff is also somewhat rare as well. Both of those are in the top 50 of the most wanted countries by most people.
Well, the expedition that I visited was in the Andamans, and they had a VU7 call, but that was in '88, so they've changed and shifted the VU7 to Lakshadweep Islands.
Okay, very good. Well, that's cool.
And do you still have that Yagi for sale?
Which one?
I believe there was a 2-meter 440 Yagi on the same boom, and I wonder, is it end mount or center mount?
I do still have that antenna, and it is a center mount antenna.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm looking for an end mount antenna. that I can put up on my tower and put a booming signal into South Austin. W5NDS, back to net.
Excellent exchange with George and Rod. Thank you for your contributions tonight. That 15-meter contact sounds pretty exciting. Bay of Bengal near India. Man, I think that many people would definitely be excited to add their tab to their maps on that one, George. And, of course, we're going to have Rod telling us a little bit about when he was there. Rod, you always have the most amazing stories. Thank you for being present tonight and for sharing that nugget of your history with us. And what surprises me about your question to George is that you still have enough space on your property for more antennas. That's a mystery to everybody, I think. Okay, any final thoughts for George or Rod tonight?
W5DGB.
Come on in, DGB.
Hey, Rod, you still playing that fiddle up there in Austin?
Not doing much fiddling these days, Dave. Good to hear you on tonight. And, I should comment on my first job, like NE5N, NE5V. I was 14 years old, and I rode a combine in a wheat field in rural western New York State, backing up the wheat as it came out of the chutes from the combine. W5NDS. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, you got to be pretty handy with a shovel to do that, if I remember correctly. Of course, that was a long time ago in Oklahoma. Anyway, just heard you in there and wanted to get in there and say hi to everybody. This is W5DGB down here on the south side of Canyon Lake.
Okay, wonderful. Let's move on to our next regular check-in. It's Rusty again. Rusty, so sorry. WV5BBS. Rusty, what's going on?
Hey, Medea. I had a fun weekend last weekend. I got to hang out with Ernesto, AI5PZN, and we drove around with Ashley and went fox hunting. We would look for MVF's fox. We found it in record time, so very proud that we're getting smarter in that. And while we were driving around, Ernesto was like, hey, have you ever seen Rod's house? And I'm like, no. So we drove by Rod's house, and I was like, let's go say hi. So we just hopped out of the car completely unannounced and went and knocked on the door, and he could not have been more of a gentleman and invited us into the house, and we got to see his station and the whole bit. And so Rod, thank you for letting us come and just invade your space on Saturday. We appreciate it more than you'll ever know. And that was kind of my fun Saturday, and that's really all I've done radio-wise. I've been really busy this week, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to play. As far as my first job, I grew up washing dishes. That was my job, and you could just kind of zone out and do your thing. But I don't recommend it. It's hard, and your hands turn to prunes, and it's just kind of steamy and dank the whole night. So it's a tough spot in a restaurant to grow up, but that's what it was. So washing dishes was my first job.
Roger that. See me, Rusty. Any comments for Rusty?
NDS?
Go on in, NDS.
Well, Rusty, I sure appreciated y'all's visit, and look forward to next time. And I wrote a song once called The Dishwasher's Blues, so someday I'll let you hear it.
I look forward to our next visit for sure, and I will totally remind you about the Dishwasher Blues. Maybe we can sing it together. No, that sounds like fun. And for those of you who don't know, if ever there was someone that knew how to water antennas and make them grow, it's W5NDS. He has a great. Go check him out on QRZ. He's got it's amazing towers over the house. It's fantastic. So thanks for letting us come over, Rod. I look forward to it, man.
Next time.
Thank you, Rusty, for sharing your childhood experience of child labor in a steamy restaurant washing dishes. I think that they may give you some perspective as to how good you got it right now. And also, I did hear about your visit to Rod's house on a Saturday morning. I thought that was quite odd. I asked Ernesto, would you like it if someone knocked on your door on a Saturday morning? And he said, that's totally Texas, babe. Everybody can do that. I said, oh, man. How did Rod react? And he, of course, said what you just said. Total gentleman. Walked us through his home, shared his 2 stations with us. He was just great and a wonderful mentor, as he always is. And not surprised that he's got a song all about dishwashers and the blues that they may be feeling when they're 14 years old. Okay, let's go down to Garrett. KG5. KBJ. What's going on, Garrett?
Not a whole lot, Maria. Appreciate you running the net. I had a lot more earlier, but as the time has gone on, I've kind of lost a half of it. But I want to say thanks for running the net, and everything's pretty good over here. KG5, KBJ, back to net.
Roger that, Garrett. Thank you for checking in tonight. Totally get it. Man, it's easy to lose track of time when you're listening to all these great stories from our club members. So totally get it. Any comments for Garrett tonight? All right, and finally on our current regular check-in list, we've got Rod, W5NDS. Come on in, Rod.
Oh, I don't want to take up any more time on the net, Maria, but wonderful to hear you in your net control role, and maybe the next time you can make a visit over here along with Ernesto and whoever. So back to net control, W5NDS.
Thank you, Rod. Of course you wouldn't invite me to your home on a Saturday morning. You're that cool. Thanks, Rod. And thank you for participating in tonight's question of the night. 14-year-old combine wheat field operator in North New York State, backing up the wheat. Man, everyone seems to have had pretty hard jobs when they were not even 15 years old. I guess we're living in different times today. 15-year-olds today would not even think about grabbing a shovel or doing any washing or anything difficult like that. And in fact, they would call it child abuse. But I think those are different times, and it may have given you some insight and some very useful personal experience. And so I think that probably happened to you too, and to a lot of people that are not millennials and earlier. I'm not criticizing the millennials. I'm just saying we were in different times. That's all I'm saying. Thank you, Rod, for your gracious invitation, and I may take you up on that next time. Thanks for everyone participating in the first round of regular check-ins. Any comments for Rod?
This is KG5KBJ.
Come on in, Garrett.
Hey, Rod, did you ever get that Baofeng program there? I remember, like, when I first started off, you were kind of asking for someone to come with there and program it. Did you ever get anything programmed?
Well, no, actually, good to hear you, Garrett. No, I haven't, but it's not a matter of great urgency now. I got another talkie here, a VX6R that is working real well for me. So thanks for remembering.
Not a problem. I was just curious. I know that, like, Mike, KF5QQS, I think he's K5MWA or something now, was going to go up there and program it. I was just kind of curious to see how that panned out, but apparently nothing happened. But, yeah, anyway, KG5, KVJ, back to net, or V5NDS.
That, Garrett.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for participating in tonight's net. I think it might be time for another station ID. This is the Oak Hill Thursday Night Net, hosted by the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, Thursday nights at 8 p.m. here on the N5OAK repeater. Be sure your tone is set to 114.8. And again, my name is Maria, call sign KI5SYX, and I am your hostess for tonight. We have been enjoying all of these short-term and now regular check-ins, and we're going to go to our next session here. We hope to hear from a lot more of our club members and non-club members too. Come on in, calling out for regular check-ins, second group.
This is KF5 KBZ Mike in Dripping Springs.
This is Whiskey 5 Golf Charlie Hotel, Ron in Driftwood.
This is KG5 GYM.
This is Kilo India 5, Mike Victor Frank, Jeffrey, Mobile.
This is Kilo India 5, Oscar Bravo Delta, Scott down in Kyle.
Whiskey 5 Delta Golf Victor, Starksville, Texas.
All right, great second set. First on our list, we've got Mike, AI5A AllStarLink. Come on in, Mike. What's going on tonight?
Good evening, everyone, and thanks, Mariah, for doing the net tonight. Great job. It sounds great. Good job for to be in net control. Just to clarify, my call sign is Kilo Foxtrot 5 Kilo Bravo Zulu. And just checking in. I've been traveling a lot, so I've been in and out lately here. So just checking in and just for the numbers. And glad to be aboard and great net tonight. So thanks for doing the job there, Mariah. Good to hear you. Back to you, net KF5KBZ.
Roger that. KF5KBZ. Roger that, Mike. Any comments for Mike tonight? Okay, no comments tonight for Mike. Thanks for checking in tonight, Mike. Have a great night. Next on our list, I believe we heard W5GCH. No name and hopefully a little bit of traffic. Come on in, GCH.
Yes, good evening, Maria. And Maria, I guess that's what it is. Anyway, this is Ron in Driftwood. I think I did announce it, but it might have dropped. But it is W5GCH, General Class Ham. Anyway, first jobs. Well, during high school, it was part of a stage crew, and I was working with lighting and sound, and I was actually paid for it during after-school hours for many activities that required a stage, such as plays and band performances and that sort of thing. And after high school, I worked in an amusement park. It was my first job after high school. So I operated a ride called the Octopus, or another name for it was the Spider. And I did that for 3 summers while I was going to college. So that was my actually first job. So after that, it's just working in the defense industry. So anyway, yeah, I haven't been doing too much radio-wise, but anyway, so I check in. W5GCH, back to net control.
Roger that. Any comments for Ron tonight? Okay, nothing heard for Ron from Driftwood. So thank you for participating in tonight's Grab Bag question. First job, stage crew, lighting and sound. Totally exciting for a high school dude, if you ask me. Participating in plays and shows and celebrity type of things for high school. You know, what kind of celebrity things are there in high school? Then the plays and maybe band is a little bit nerdy, but still, you know, being there sounds pretty exciting. Hopefully that was a cool experience for you as a kid. And let me tell you, I think everyone knows which amusement park game is that octopus. I mean, it's even in the shape of the octopus. It's going around and around. You're on one of the tentacles. You're just having a blast. You're a kid. You know this is the best time you're having up to that time of your life. Man, I know it's not the same operating it and being on the ride, but still, 3 summers doing that while in college doesn't sound like that lame of a time. And then you go to defense. I guess it's a little bit serious, but Ron, thank you for sharing a little bit of your history. And hopefully you've been having a great time with amateur ham radios recently as well. Okay, so let's move on to our next person on our regular check-in list. So sorry, we only caught a very, very light sound, and we heard QAM. QAM, come on in. If you can repeat your call sign, please. I'm so sorry, we cannot hear anything. I'm assuming that QAM, whom we heard recently, or just earlier, very, very lightly, I think he's trying or she's trying to log in. We cannot hear you. Try one more time, please, and then we'll move on to the next person on the list.
GUAM, I think that's you.
This is KG5, GYM, Kilo Go 5, Golf Yankee Mike. Is that who you were looking for?
Yes, I think so. Come on in. So glad we can hear you now. Yes. Hello. Thank you for checking in to our regular check-ins tonight in our Oak Hill Club meeting, or net, for Thursday night. What's going on with you tonight?
Well, I'm here in Niskayuna, New York, where I have, moved from down yonder there, and I'm just kind of hanging out, plotting, putting up antennas in an area where, they're not going to be into my tower or anything like that, so we're going to have to see what happens with all that sort of noise, and otherwise just getting acclimated to the new digs. I bought a house up here, and I guess I'm here to stay, so that's about it. And as far as the original job, I guess you were talking about a job where they wanted a Social Security number and they were going to give you a W-2. That would have been working in a print shop. Back to net, KG5 GLAM.
Well, let me tell you, I think that many Austinites are pretty jealous right now that you have a new home in New York State, because that sounds pretty heavenly right now. We're about to have 100-degree weather in one day, and it's not even June. So hopefully you're having a better time than us here in Texas, and hopefully the reason that you moved up to New York was a positive one, and that your new home is wonderful. We appreciate you participating tonight in our Texas and Austin net. Print shop, yeah. Well, I don't know if I was asking for a real job. I think that we've been hearing from a lot of I fell into this job when I was 10 years old kind of thing. So yeah, print shop seems pretty exciting because it allows you to be creative, and I think you probably have to follow some rules and some logistics and some teamwork too. So it sounds okay for someone pretty young. All right, thank you so much for participating. Any comments tonight?
KF5, KBZ.
Come on in, KBZ.
Hey, Mike, it's good to hear from you. I hear you check in sometimes during the day, and I'm always on a conference call or something, so I can never jump on the radio or something to hear you. But but eventually I'll hook up with you and stuff, and it'll be good to catch up. But good to hear your voice, and glad to hear you're doing well, and you're situated up in New York. So look forward to catching up next time. We meet on the radio. So back to you, Ned. KF5KBZ.
Very cool. All right. Thank you, Mike, for checking in from so far away. Sounds like you have Texas in your heart still. Maybe that's why you keep checking in to us, and we really appreciate that. Have a wonderful night, Mike. Okay, let's move on to our next regular check-in. We've got Jeffrey, KI5MVS. Come on in, Jeffrey.
KI5MVS, hello again for the third time. I am mobile and heading home. People that I was waiting on did not show up, but I'm not too surprised. I missed the question, but based on the other responses, I'm going to guess that it was asking about a first job. Like GYM, my first official job was for a neighborhood doing landscaping, basically. When I say landscaping, I mean all I did was cut grass. But before that, I grew up homeschooled, and my dad owned his own construction business, and I grew up going to work more than I did looking at a textbook from a very young age, and so I would consider going to work with Dad my real first job. Radio-wise, we've got the fox hunts, as previously mentioned. I'm excited about those. I've got some free time this weekend. And then I've chatted on the repeater recently with two relatively new people, or at least new to the area, or this repeater at least. And I have their call signs written down, but I can't recall them currently. But one was like a N5ZL, unless that's Sky, I can't remember. But there's another one, I think his name was Scott. We talked for probably 30 minutes about fox hunts. And then there was a new guy, Nick, and I don't remember his prefix, but it was 6BOM. And so I hope to have heard him in here tonight, or I hope that somebody else has heard him in here tonight. Because he had just moved to the area when I talked to him earlier this week, or maybe it was over the weekend, and I gave him the full rusty rundown of how to get on the website and all of our club nets, and he was super appreciative. And so, again, I hope that he's in here tonight. If not, hopefully we'll hear from him again soon. But otherwise, maybe trying to buy a new mobile radio soon, or an additional one. I think this will round out to double digits of the mobile radios for me. But I will keep everybody updated when I get it, if I get it. But this is KI5MVS mobile, and I'll send it back to net.
Okay, Jeffrey, you made me smile on a few of those comments. Any comments for Jeffrey tonight?
Yes.
Go ahead. Comments for Jeffrey.
Well, Jeffrey, good to hear you tonight. Do you have 10 vehicles to accommodate those 10 mobile rigs? I just had to ask.
Rod, you joke, but I'm not far from 10. I'm closer to 10 than I am to 1. but they don't actually all need radios. A couple of them only have two wheels and no seatbelts. But the one that I'm trying to get is a dual bander to replace a single bander, and so it'll maybe take up the spot of one, and then I've got a couple that are APRS stations or future APRS stations, but there's just something very convenient about a $100 or less used mobile radio that I have enjoyed. I've spent more than $100 on very few of them, and so they've all got their specific use cases. I've got quad banders and dual banders and 900 megahertz and 220s and all that stuff.
I hope one of them's going on that John Deere tractor.
Oh, that's not me with the tractor, but I can tell you, if I had a John Deere tractor, it would definitely have a radio, and you guys would definitely hear from me on the radio while I was driving the tractor. If anybody has a tractor that they need to be driven, I'd happily volunteer for that. I mentioned growing up, going to work with Dad, but I also spent many summers out on the farm with Grandpa, and very much enjoy some tractor time. AI5MVF.
Somebody's working on a John Deere. I've forgotten who, but I know some of you will remember. W5NDS back to net.
Wonderful exchange, Jeffrey and Rod. Well, Jeffrey, unless there's someone else to comment, I have some comments for you. I don't think that's very surprising, but I do have a comment. I actually have a comment about homeschooling. So, I have been homeschooled, and let me tell you, they are smart as a whip. There is something about being with someone that is focused on one person and giving them all of this world knowledge, however they can do it. But these homeschoolers, man, they are rocking the house. You're a pretty young dude. I hear that you have incredible knowledge on machines and systems and rigging and fixing, and I am not surprised to hear that you were homeschooled. Again, in my STEM school, I have a kiddo whose parents are in the construction areas, and when he goes out to play in the playground, he's actually the director of the crew. The current project is removing a huge tree stump from our playground. They're digging, they've got some shovels, they're removing some rocks, they're moving the dirt around, and that little dude whose moms, there's actually two moms, are in that construction business is the boss, directing everybody, getting that job done, the very important job of removing that tree stump from our playground. So I'm not surprised to hear that you were homeschooled. Cool. That's very, very cool. And I'm very, very glad that you are pulling new members or new people to our club, fox hunting interest and whatnot. So good job, Jeffrey, making radio, amateur radio, cool. All right. Any more comments for Jeffrey?
Whiskey.
Come on in. Okay, nothing heard. So let's go down our list. Thank you, Jeffrey, for participating in tonight's net. We've got Scott, AI5OVD. What's going on, Scott?
Hi, Maria. Thanks for running the net. It's been great listening to you and everybody. First job, I was 13. I went door to door selling subscriptions to the Houston Chronicle, and I know it was a real job because I remember I had to apply for and obtain a Social Security number. I did not have to file a tax return that year because at the time I think the minimum gross income was $3,000. If it was under that, you didn't have to file. So yeah, it was a few more years before I had to file an actual tax return, but that's when I had to get my Social Security number. I'm feeling grateful today. I had a great day, an unusually good day, and I started a new project at work this morning, which is great. Doesn't happen often. It's always great to have just a fresh, a blank page and start building a new application. And I made great progress today, and almost ready to test the API call and send it a request and see what kind of response I get. That was great. And then right after work, let it drop. As soon as I logged out of work, I made a contact in Italy. I checked DXWatch and I contacted Lauro in northern Italy, IK4GRO. It was our second contact. We worked back in August of last year on 20 meters, and I worked him today on 15 meters on the new double bazooka Rusty. It worked out real good. We had a little better. He came in 5.6 and he heard me at 5.5. But we were both readable and had a really nice short QSO. Great guy, Lauro in northern Italy. And then had a margarita and a nice homemade Mexican dinner with the family. And watched Wheel of Fortune, which was a brutal game today. But the bad weather passed right over us. Anytime the wind kicks up, I worry about my antennas. But we're still all good. And so just great being here. Great day. Really grateful, and grateful for this club too. You guys are great, and thanks again, Maria, and looking forward to TriviaNet tomorrow night. Bring your game, everybody, and we'll see y'all there. KI5OVD, back to net control.
Very cool, Scott. Comments for Scott right away.
BBS.
Come on in, BBS.
Hey Scott, dude, it's good to hear that things are going well for you, man. You still got time to go maybe buy some lottery tickets, but yeah, I just wanted to let you know also you were the number one on the frequent flyer for trivia. So you're at 43 games you have played, and you're at the top of the frequent flyer list. So add that to your list, and it's good to hear you on the net, man. WZ5BBS, back to net control.
Sweet, great, yeah. Awesome. That's another cherry on top of my day. Thanks a lot, Rusty. KI5OVD.
You bet, dude. We'll see you tomorrow night.
In 5 and IR.
Come on in.
Just checking in. I'm a visitor. I live in Moody, Texas, and I guess the band's open a little bit. Name is Paul. Just curious to know where the repeater is located, Maria.
Sure, Paul. Welcome. We are in Austin, and our flagship repeater is located in South Austin, Texas.
Roger. Thank you, ma'am. I guess I'm about maybe, I don't know, maybe 60, 70 miles from you guys there. The band's open, I guess, after the front. Thanks for letting me check in, and we'll say 73, then 5 NIR, Moody, Texas.
Amazing, Paul. 60 miles, man. Moody, Texas. All right. That propagation is very cool tonight. Does it have to do with that storm or whatever? We'll take it. Thank you, Paul, for checking in. And we are still taking comments for Scott. AI5OBD. Well, I have some comments for Scott. Scott, your vibe is amazing tonight. Just the word grateful. Man, we all have to be grateful for being where we are in Austin and having technology and having fun tonight and listening to everybody's contributions and just being and not having to hopefully worry about a lot of terrible things. Glad you're grateful for our little club that I'm kind of grateful about finding too just by chance, meeting very cool people and watching Wheel of Fortune with your family and connecting with Italy, having a great time at work. Man, your vibe is busting tonight, so great. I'm so glad to hear from you, Scott. Thank you for your contribution on our net tonight.
Roger that, Maria. Attitude of gratitude is the way to go. Things are, if you pay too much attention to the news and life can get you down, but an attitude of gratitude is the way to go. And that's all I have to say about that. Thanks again, Maria. AI5OBD, back to net.
Oh, yeah. I think that should be the theme of tonight's net. Thanks, Scott. Okay, let's go to our next regular check-in. We've got W5DGV. Thanks for waiting, and come on in.
Yeah, hey, Maria. I'd like to say that it's nice to hear a cute female voice running this net. It just, I don't know, I think it garners more check-ins. And it's good to talk to Rod. I don't know what the story is. He's not playing his fiddle no more, but I bet he's still hanging on that Mando. And my first job was working in a bike shop when I was like 11 or 12. But they couldn't trust my work because I was too young, so they fired me. So anyway, that's a story over here from Starksville on the south side of Canyon Lake. Y'all have a good one. Whiskey 5, Delta Golf Victor.
Okay, any comments for DGB?
W5NDS.
Come on in, Rod.
I got to answer Dave there. Dave, I lost my calluses on my fingers due to the COVID. Well, COVID was indirectly responsible because I didn't have anybody to play with anymore. But I'm still playing. I'm playing dobro these days, and I'm going down to San Antonio and have a little jam session with some friends down there on Sunday. So good to hear you as always, Dave. Starsville. Okay. 7-3 W5NDS.
Hey, Rod, you're not playing down there with Tom Wasson, whatever his name is down there, are you? I just had a little podunk gig over here at Starts Cafe. We got $200 in a tip jar last Friday, and I think I'm gonna start trying to get a few more gigs going around here. I may try to get a hold of you and see if you want to come down here and slide around on that dobro, because we had a good time. I played with Greg Harkins down here last Friday. I don't know if you know Greg, but he's really good. He plays with Emily Gimbel and them Belleville out there, them Ghost Along the Brazos and some of them other people. Anyway, I'm going to shut up and let Net Control take it back over. W5DGB.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Rod. Well, now we've got some musicians connecting or reconnecting on our net. Man, everything is happening tonight. Positivity, music, and rekindling old memories of childhood jobs. Dave's was a bike shop when he was 11. I want to know if everyone can place their brains at their 11-year-old selves and see if they were working at a bike shop. Not. Dave was. Granted he got fired, but still, he tried working at a bike shop at 11 years old. Amazing. And yes, let's get our club member musicians and non-members, connected and reconnected. This is, after all, the city of music, Austin, Texas. Thank you, Dave, for checking in and reconnecting with Rod. Rod, I think, is a little bit of a celebrity, and everyone knows it. So, Rod, thank you for checking in tonight. Let's get another station ID in. This is the Oak Hill Thursday Night Net, hosted by the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, Thursday nights at 8 p.m. here on the N5 OAK repeater. Be sure your tone is set to 114.8. Again, my name is Maria, call sign KI5SYX, and I have been and will be your hostess for tonight. I want to know if there are many other regular check-ins tonight. Hopefully we've got a few more. I know you've got to share. Come on in. Regular check-ins.
This is KI5A Anderson, South Manchek area.
Roger that. We've got Anderson, NI5NLK. Come on in, Anderson. What's going on?
Not a lot, Maria. I just jumped in about, I guess it was W5GCH was up, and I was getting in the car, so I'm still mobile driving now, but got done with work, and I thought, there's no way they're still going, and sure enough, y'all were on here, and I heard your voice, so I listened in, and I guess I'll let it drop for a sec. But I've been doing a lot of work lately, not a whole lot of radio playing, so I'm getting a little bored of that, and I'm ready to go back to playing on the radio more. Don't know when that's going to happen, but work's been crazy. I heard you talking about first jobs maybe, so I figure I'll throw mine out there. My first job, I was about 15. And I worked in a feed store, just loading feed into trucks. And the reason I took the job was because part of the job was they gave me a little signing bonus. I got a Jeep Cherokee, so I got my first car by doing that job. And it was a Jeep that had been used to transport sheep to and
back to you, Net Control.
Anderson, okay, very cool. Any comments for Anderson? Okay, nothing heard for Anderson so far, but I am still laughing. That was a pretty funny check-in. Hopefully you will get more into radio. You know, I've been a little bit distant from my radio work as well, just busy with work, etc. And I think I have to get closer into my amateur work. I think that's just more fun than what I've been doing lately. So, yeah, I'm with you. Yes, let's get more into radio and being more creative. I want to build a receiver. That's my next project. I hear that they are still backed up because of all these sourcing issues that we have in our world. But at some point, I will build the receiver and I will know how radios work. So that's my next project. Hopefully you have a groovy project on your list to do. And thank you for participating in tonight's question. A feed store loading job at 15. Again, all these jobs at a very, very young age. I don't know what's going on here, but everyone started working way too young. And I wonder if that's why everybody still has a very, I don't know, fun attitude about them, because we all got caught early on in the grind, and we're still young at heart. So I'm glad to hear that that's maybe what we all have in common, and maybe that's what ties us together in our radio club. So I like that. But what I like hearing is, a Jeep has always been one of my dream cars. I actually have my dream car now. I bought it 2 years ago in 1977, convertible VW. I drive it every day. It's actually my daily driver. I also want a Jeep. So I'm thinking your first job, having a sign-in bonus as a Jeep, was pretty cool. But I don't know if you were so popular with the ladies, if it smelled like poo. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
It definitely started out nasty, but that was a great vehicle to learn on. So I had to recarpet the whole thing myself, and I had to learn how to weld too, because some of the doors were, the hinges were falling off. So if you open the door, instead of opening the door just would come all the way off. So I had to learn how to weld and stuff like that. But by the time that thing was done, it was pretty awesome. I mean, everything was custom, and I would say within quality parameters that I was happy with. I missed what year you said. It was a 1977 something, and the repeater cut out there for a second, and I missed what it was. Do you mind telling me again?
Oh, not at all. I love showing off my car. It's a 77 Volkswagen Bug convertible, my dream car.
Okay, very, very cool. Yeah, those are fun. Those are, I always thought they'd be neat to have, but I'm a little too tall to get into a Bug. Yeah, okay, back to Net Control.
All right, for that, Anderson. Thank you for participating tonight. Any final comments for Anderson?
BBS.
Rusty, how did we totally know you were going to comment? Come on in, BBS.
Well, I have missed out on some of the Slacker chat for the week, so I just wanted to see if Anderson was on as well. And also see, it's North versus South, man, so we need you for tomorrow. You can come play trivia with us.
I'll have to see. My mother-in-law came into town, so I may have to take I say it begrudgingly, like I may have to take the wife out on a date tomorrow, because it's been a long while since we've, basically beginning of COVID, since we've had a little date. So Yeah, I think I slacked on the Slacker chats this week. I was in Houston for a little bit, and then I had to work late a couple nights. But we'll see how date night goes. If it doesn't go too well, maybe I will be on playing trivia.
All right. Well, don't do anything I wouldn't do. But y'all have fun, and just wanted to say, hey, it's been a while. So hopefully we'll see y'all tomorrow for the trivia net. But yeah, we'll holler at you later, man. Back to net control.
Very cool. Okay. So guys, I wonder, will there be any more check-ins for tonight? I'm going to give you guys a very last chance to check in on the Thursday night net for Oak Hill Club.
Reject.
Come on in.
Yeah, Mariah, this is Dave down here in Canyon Lake. Did I hear you earlier, like a couple days ago on here, saying you just got your general class ticket?
Oh, Dave, I'm so sorry to say that was not me. I have only been a technician since December. I am actually proud of that because now I'm running the net. So, no, it wasn't me. I wonder who that was that you think that it was me getting a general license. Man, maybe that's a sign for me. But not me, Dave.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if it was on here or the 147.25. I heard somebody discussing that. It was a female voice, and there's not a lot of X or YLs on amateur radio, so when they pop up, it's a joy to all us male heteros out here. And I know that includes Rod over there being about I think he's about a mile from my sister's house up there in Allendale. Anyway, I'm gonna go back into the woodwork. Y'all have a good one. W5DGD.
Thanks, Dave. Have a great night, and maybe you've inspired me a little bit more. Maybe I should get on that. So have a great night. Okay, guys, this is the last call. We are calling for the last regular check-ins for 5/5/22 Oak Hill Net.
W5ELG Echo Lima Golf. No traffic.
Roger that. W5ELG, no traffic. Anyone else out there?
KI5PZN.
Come on in, K5PZN.
Hey, everybody on the net, and Mireya, hey. Nothing, just wanted to say hi. I want to answer that question about my first job. I grew up in the farm, so raising cattle and basically slaughtering animals from a young age, but I grew up around that, so it was just a thing you did, and yeah, I liked it, and I still like my animals and farms and all this stuff, but yeah. Other than that, just trying to play radio and try to have more fun. Been busy, but thank goodness getting more time to get back on it. And thanks again, Mireya, for picking up the net tonight. KI5PZN, back to net control.
Roger that, KI5PZN. Any comments?
Yeah, I've been okay.
Come on in, NLK.
And so I don't know. Did I ever sell you any feed? What part of the world were you in when you were doing your farming? I'm just curious.
I grew up in Puerto Rico, man, but I did that too. I remember stacking those 50-pound sacks, and I remember there were some big ones where it wasn't pellets. It was more like I forget. It was more like a powder thing. I don't know how you call that in English, but those were 100 pounds, and I was never a fan, man.
There were some big bags. I think we had 70s, and 100s, but mostly 50s and 40s. But either way, that sounds like fun in not America. So, very cool, man.
Yeah, dude, it was fun. It was fun. I know it's different because it's pretty hardcore labor, but I was young and it didn't bother me because when you're young, you're invincible. Nothing hurts.
Well, actually, I personally know KI5PZN, as some people may know. He's actually been quite limited with his conversation about his first job. I've heard about slaughtering animals for years and moving huge cinder blocks and many things that you would never think an 8, 10, 12-year-old child should do. But I guess that's life in the Caribbean islands. I don't know. We've learned a lot tonight from everyone's backgrounds, which makes the question of the night very valuable. We learn a lot about our members in our club and where we're all from. And here we are all together talking and spending time on a Thursday night. So I think that's pretty cool. We all come from different places and we have different experiences, but we share a common service and hobby. So cool. I think it's very cool. All right, so I think we're going to wrap it up for tonight. And I'm going to ask Ernesto, KI5PZN, how many stations participated tonight? Ernesto, come on in.
All right, so I counted 28, and that includes me. I might have missed, but I think that's about it, 28. Also going to go down the list of the weekly nets here in Austin. Let it reset. We start with Monday nights. We have the 6-meter Monday hosted by Rick. AI5A. This is on 50.125 megahertz at 8 p.m. on Mondays. That's 6-meter Mondays. We have Tuesdays. We have Southside Simplex, hosted by Ray. That's K5BZI. That's on 146.555 megahertz at 8 p.m. Tuesday night. Also the DMR Soundcheck Net, hosted by George W5JDX and Tommy N52 or ZNO. This is not a Oak Hill net, but we hooked up to that one on the 441.300, the DMR machine. I'm not sure if it's working, but that's at 8 p.m. on Tuesday night. Let me let it reset. On Wednesday night, we have the UT Amateur Radio Club net, hosted by Samir and 5EIF. That's on 441.325 on the University Link repeater system, and also linked to the Oak Hill Amateur repeater system, and that's at 8 p.m. on Wednesday, against 441.325. Thursday night, we have the CW net, hosted by Pat. That's W5WTH. All CW levels are welcome. That's on 3.532 at 7:30 on Thursday. Want to let it reset? And the Thursday night net, hosted by a different operator every week, and that's at 8 p.m. an Oak Hill repeater system and the University Link repeater system, also an Echolink and AllStar. For more information, you can go to the Oak Hill website, n50ak.org, to get more information about AllStar and Echolink. On Fridays, we have the famous Friday Night Trivia Net, hosted by Rusty, WZ5BBS, that's Oak Hill Repeater System, and University Link System at 9 p.m. Saturdays, we have, these are not the Oak Hill Club, but we have the Elmer's Net, hosted by Jeff, N5MNW, at 7 p.m. on 146940 Elmer's Net. Also the conservation net, that's on 220, that's on 224.100 megahertz at 9 p.m. On Saturday. And on Sundays we have the 10-meter net hosted by Rod, W5NDS, and that's on 28.410 at 3 p.m. 10-meter net on Sunday. And at 9 p.m. on Sunday, the swap net hosted by Jeff, N5MNW and 146.940. Those are the weekly nets in Austin. This is KI5PZN. Back to net control.
Thank you, KI5PZN, for sharing and reminding us about all of the options we have during the week to connect with each other and share this very cool hobby that connects us all tonight and throughout the week. Thanks, Ernesto. Okay, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up. It's 10:11. What a cool time to end our Thursday Night Net. Thank you for joining us for the Oak Hill Thursday Night Net, a service of the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, call sign N50AK. We're here every Thursday night at 8 p.m. for the net. We're a nonprofit based in Austin. For more information, please visit n50ak.org, where you can read about the club, sign up for the email list, and make a donation for the continued growth of our amateur radio club in Central Texas. Big shout out to Kyle, KA5D, for linking the University Link repeater system for this net. This has been your hostess with the mostest, Maria, KI5SYX in East Austin, 73, and thanks again for participating and listening tonight. This system is now returning to the regular amateur use. Have a great night, everyone.
Thanks for running the net tonight, Mireya. Great job. WZ5BBS.
Thanks, Rusty. Thanks for supporting me, and glad to cover for Sammy tonight. Hope he has a very restful week, and we hope to hear him on the radio soon.
W5DGB.
KG5, GUAM listening. The net, over.